Have you ever felt like you're working harder than everyone around you, but somehow you're still falling behind? Maybe you're the first one in the office and the last one to leave, but your results don't match your effort. Maybe you work 12-hour days while your colleague works 6 and gets promoted instead of you. Or maybe you're exhausted, burnt out, barely sleeping, yet you watch others succeed with what looks like half your struggle. If you've ever wondered why hard work isn't enough, if you're tired of being tired with nothing to show for it, then this story may change how you work forever. Because once there was a farmer who almost destroyed his life by working too hard, until one encounter taught him the difference between effort and strategy. Stay with me until the end. In a farming valley where families had worked the land for generations, there lived a 32-year-old farmer named Thomas. Thomas owned a modest 10-acre farm inherited from his father, and Thomas believed in one thing above all else: hard work. Every morning, he woke at 4 a.m. before the sun touched the horizon. He worked the fields with his bare hands, refusing to spend money on modern tools. "My grandfather did it this way," he would say. "Hard work is the only honest way." He planted every seed by hand, watered every row with a bucket, pulled every weed himself. From sunrise to sunset, Thomas worked. His hands were calloused and bleeding. His back ached constantly. But he wore his exhaustion like a badge of honor. At night, he collapsed into bed, too tired to eat properly, too tired to spend time with his wife, Sarah. She would look at him with worried eyes and say, "Thomas, you're killing yourself. There has to be a better way." But Thomas would shake his head. "Sarah, success requires sacrifice. Hard work never fails. I just need to work harder." The neighboring farmers watched him with admiration and pity. If hard work alone could make someone rich, Thomas would be a millionaire. But the truth was darker. Despite working twice as many hours as his neighbors, Thomas's farm barely produced enough to survive. Every harvest was a struggle. Every season brought him closer to debt. His crops were average, his yield mediocre. And worst of all, he had no time, no energy, no life outside of work. Next to Thomas's farm lived Richard, same age, same size farm, even started with less money. But something was different. Richard worked from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., 6 hours a day. He used modern irrigation systems, hired part-time help during harvest, spent evenings reading, relaxing, traveling with family. And somehow, his farm produced twice what Thomas's did. That fact haunted Thomas. Then came a brutal summer, a drought. Water became scarce. Every farmer faced the same question: how do we keep crops alive with limited resources? Thomas responded the only way he knew how: work harder. He woke at 3 a.m., carried 50 buckets a day from a distant well. His body screamed in protest, but he pushed through. "Hard work never fails," he repeated, like a prayer. Meanwhile, Richard adjusted his irrigation system, watering during cooler hours, losing almost nothing to evaporation. On the 15th day, Thomas broke. Carrying his 40th bucket, his vision blurred. His legs gave out. The bucket slipped from his hands, water spilling into dry dust. He collapsed. Sarah found him between dying crops, too exhausted to stand.
The doctor's words were clear. "Mr. Thomas, your body is shutting down. You are dehydrated, sleep-deprived, and on the edge of a heart attack. If you continue like this, you won't see next harvest. Not because of the drought, but because you won't be alive." That night, lying in bed with IV fluids dripping into his arm, Thomas stared at the ceiling.
For the first time in his life, he felt defeat. Not defeat from circumstances, not defeat from drought, defeat from the realization that his belief system might be wrong. "I did everything right," he whispered to Sarah. "I worked harder than anyone. Why am I failing?" Sarah held his hand gently. "Maybe hard work isn't the full answer. Maybe there's something you haven't learned yet." 3 days later, Thomas did something he had been too proud to do. He knocked on Richard's door. They sat on Richard's porch, overlooking thriving green fields. "Richard," Thomas said humbly, "I work twice your hours. Why do you produce double the results?" Richard stood up quietly. "Come, let me show you something." He brought out 2 axes, one dull, one sharp. "Imagine 2 woodcutters," Richard said. "One swings for 12 hours straight, never resting, never sharpening. The other works 10 hours, but every hour he stops for 10 minutes to sharpen his axe." Thomas tried the dull axe, swing after swing, barely a dent. Richard used the sharp one. 4 swings, and the log split cleanly. "You," Richard said gently, "have been swinging a dull axe for years." Then he shared 3 principles. First, systems over effort. "I don't carry buckets. I built a drip irrigation system. It works while I sleep." Second, focus over hustle. "I grow 2 crops and master them. You grow 5 and struggle with all." Third, rest is strategy. "I sleep 8 hours. I think clearly. I make better decisions." Richard looked him in the eyes. "Hard work is the foundation, but hard work without strategy is just suffering. It's time to sharpen your axe." That evening, Thomas didn't rush to the fields. He sat with Sarah and a notebook. "Teach me to think differently," he said. Within 2 weeks, he installed drip irrigation. Watering time dropped from 6 hours to 20 minutes. He reduced 5 crops to 2, hired help during peak season, started planning instead of reacting. He worked fewer hours, but smarter ones. And something beautiful happened. He had dinner with Sarah, laughed again, played with his children. 6 months later, his harvest increased by 40%, not because he worked harder, but because he worked strategically. 7 hours a day outperformed 15. Richard smiled and said, "Now you're not just a hard worker, you're a smart worker." My friend, this story isn't about farming. It's about you. Hard work is necessary, but it is not sufficient. Remember 3 things. Before you work harder, ask if there's a smarter system. Focus beats hustle. Master a few things deeply. And rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is part of it. You cannot think strategically when you are exhausted. So here's your challenge. This week, find one task you spend the most time on. Ask yourself, is there a smarter way, a tool, a system, a person to delegate to? Take one afternoon to sharpen your axe. Because you are not a machine designed to run until it breaks. You are a human being with a brilliant mind capable of leverage. Stop swinging the dull axe. It's time to sharpen it. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs permission to work smarter, not just harder.
And remember, strategy beats exhaustion every single time. Your best work happens when your mind is sharp, not when your body is broken.